Welcome to the first VOD of Skyweaver Gold. I do want to keep these pretty short and sweet, but I will go in depth when it is needed. I just played a set of like 3 pretty interesting games, so I decided to share these first. So I drew Head in the Clouds here at the top left. I'm going first, so I have the 2 mana coin. I drew Head in the Clouds with 3 other air cards, and that doesn't happen very often. And you can see me pull the rest of the deck up, and you see that I have Speed Boots and Queen of Jacks, which I'm drawing, which aren't the cards you want to draw off of this. Head in Clouds is going to kind of lose you tempo on the turn that you play it, so you really want to pick up cards like Strike Storm, the AoE, Fist Special, the Yellow Jack kind of cards, the Disciple of Gusto, so that you can get some of your life points back. But I decide, I want to make some fun content. Just started the Substack today, so you can see here, I want to keep the standard cards, but I end up picking all of the air cards and going in there. So turn 1, a lot of times with this hand setup, you would for sure coin out Gale. Gale is actually, I'm going to go more in depth into every card later, but Gale's actually pretty underrated early game, I think. I think it's a really strong card in the early game, especially when you coin it out on 3. It adds a lot of like potential pressure because it's shrouded on the first turn. So I think a lot of times you would actually play Gale into Skykeeper, but right now we're kind of doing a contest to not play air cards really. And our opponent coins out this, and at this point we pretty much have to play the Void Knight here, and the reason is otherwise you're gonna have to wait 2 more turns, so the coin will get you to 4 mana, so that you can play the Grim Reprisal. I don't really have another play. I mean, I could either coin out Head in the Clouds, but I don't have a way of getting back on board. If I play Skykeeper, it's just gonna die to this air rune. So I mean, this is a very clear Void Knight. This is my only window to do it with the coin, so I get that full clear off. And at this point, I mean, I feel okay, but we're gonna get backstabbed off the board, and opponent's gonna develop this. So this is my turn 3, and so we're doing a contest here, a self-challenge, if you will, to not play any air cards. But I end up montaging this 1/1. It's going to cause problems for me later on, and I have to use my mana here. I'm not going to play Coffin Moth. It's just going to give my opponent +1. You could make the argument that montage at 2 mana will be better later after you Head in the Clouds, but montage is a pretty bad card, I would say. And you could also make the argument that if I play this 4/2, which has lead, then this thing's just going to die, but I don't want to just pass my turn 4 as well and my turn 2. So I think pretty much montage is the only play. So this is, this is going to be a pretty weak set of turns for me. 3 and 4, I'm basically playing nothing, which is really bad if my opponent decided to raise the tempo on me. So my opponent only ends up playing a 4/1 on 4 mana, which is good for me. I decide to Clouds here. This is kind of what we've been waiting for. But like I said, I draw Speed Boots and Queen of Jacks. So I don't think the strategy is very good without drawing plus tempo cards. And I also don't think it's very good against agility and probably against strength. I don't think it's that great against strength either. And probably int too. So not good against a lot of the matchups. But you can see here, my opponent plays Speed Boots, and we get pretty lucky here because my opponent also drew not a high pressure hand. So on 4, he only played a 4/1, and then on 5, he only played a Speed Boot. So there's like no board development, and still I'm at 12 health. So I would have been in a lot of trouble if there was more tempo. And right now I have 8 cards against like 4, but I'm in a really dangerous spot. But here, for sure, You're just going to play the honor guard and clear off. And my opponent develops a 2/5. I get pretty lucky here with the change. Otherwise, I'd be taking another 3 damage where I really can't afford it. And I don't have a great answer to this card either. I also don't like my opponent putting this hedgehog into the 4/1. I think that's like pretty much a waste of a resource. So I end up top decking the Sturge Strike, which gets me out of this jam a bit. With this card here, it's going to deal damage to me every time I cast a spell, so I want to kill it in one fell swoop. I'm pretty fortunate to have this Blade Master Speed Boots combo, being at such low health. If I didn't draw the Sturge Strike, I think what I probably do is... I don't even honestly know. I might even just play like the Queen of Jacks and the 3/2 and then just go face and pass. I don't really want to spend a blade here getting nothing just to kill it, although this is a really dangerous card to leave out for kind of obvious reasons. So yeah, and then the health really helps me too, so I was really lucky actually to draw that card despite having 7 cards in hand. So this is just a pretty standard turn, and then you play the Gale over the Coffin Moth because Gale is going to provide more immediate kill pressure than Coffin Moth. Coffin Moth is usually like really good in this spot, but I want to kill my opponent before he can kill me, because that's basically the only way I'm losing this game. And opponent clears the board with some yellow jacks and card sling. Okay, and here I'm not going to wait for the Wayne Blade combo as well. I'm just going to pick up that 5 life when I need it. And here, effectively, the game is over pretty much. I have like answers to almost everything my opponent can play too, so the game pretty much ends here. So if I could go back in time here, just really quickly, just looking at this mulligan, I think this is actually a decent starting hand here, going first against, I was going to say rogue, against agility. You would just keep, I think you would keep Gale, Skykeeper, Coffin Moth, and Pistol Shrimp maybe, and then you would just coin out Gale and go from there. Pistol Shrimp can kind of protect you against anything they try and do. So yeah, like I said, I don't think this strategy was very good here, but it ended up working out. So yeah, and I'm just going to go into the second game. This is just going to be, usually the VODs are going to be just one, but I'm just going to go into the second game because they're kind of a theme here. So hopefully you enjoyed this one, and check out the second one right below actually. It's a pretty fun one as well.